Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 71, Secured Alliance. To briefly recap last episode, we finalized the slave quarters, despite the fact that the Ancient Danger ended up with just a whole lot of corpses. We added a second farm, fully enclosing it and starting to use it for sowing heal root. And then we also went to an ancient complex and gained yet another piece of our last relic. As you can see here, we have now 2 out of 5. And I'm planning on heading out to yet another terminal. But for this complex, I will not, however, be stripping it of all of its resources because I am already pretty encumbered by the amount of bounty that we have received already. So very many of the horses are suffering from animal plague, which is a little ridiculous. And this is where we pick up. So, taking a look at the ancient complex, the dusty installation is here. I'll probably just be sending one of my people, not all of them. So what I'm going to do is raise Sven's psi focus and Bunny's psi focus back up so that I can use them in combat. Another thing that I've been meaning to do is to get a pod launcher. That, of course, will help me tremendously getting there. Getting back, if I don't end up using a lot of my psi-casting, I can, of course, just far skip home. But let's go ahead and set up a pod launcher. Now, back here in the paddock or ranch, or whatever you want to call it, it's not exactly the safest place to set up pod launchers in retrospect, because it's not really walled in, and it's also really adjacent to enemy raids that are coming in. So I think what I'm going to do is setting up my pod launcher here. And then I can also toss in just a western-facing door in this spot, and then floor the whole thing up like that. I'll even stick a roof on it and illuminate it with a standing lamp so that we're not slowed down. That seems good to me. This will also require my wolf hauler zone to change a bit because I don't necessarily want them near the pod launchers. That doesn't make any sense. And we'll get that constructed and underway so that Sven can take a very rapid one-way trip. We have no luck and trust in getting this project going. What's interesting is because I had queued it up, I can still build the pod launchers themselves underneath a roof, despite the fact that that's normally impossible. And then we'll build the transport pods. It's also really important to get this door up and running. I did not mean for that to be paved tile, but honestly, paved tile looks better than the concrete that I had out there prior, so paved tile it is. Even though it's a little bit more expensive, it will do. Now, the other thing that I'm obviously lacking is biofuel, right? Because you can't really go anywhere without biofuel. So I'm going to set up a make chem fuel from wood. I'm also going to pause the stone cutter so that my slaves can make me some biofuel to use for transportation. Having Sven head out to yet another dusty complex means that Vitals Monitor, unfortunately, is going to take a little bit of a backseat as we're working towards other things. If we take a look at the colony wealth, we are already up to 267,000 And this is a very, I would consider, modest base. I think a lot of the wealth is, of course, what the colonists are wearing and what they have. And that drives up the wealth a lot. Oh, we're also having a bit of an issue with the wild animals here that have nothing to eat because of the temperature outside grabbing the meals. So I'm going to move this into the barn. Once I move that skull spike, so that wild creatures cannot munch on the food that I've designated for horses. Now, if you're wondering why I am even bothering to make simple meals, kibble will just be a lot more labor intensive, if you ask me, so I'm just choosing kibble instead. We also have an orbital trade. Let's take a look. Bulk goods trader. Now, I had been waiting for the horses to mature before I sold them, but quite honestly, we have so many of them and they're all so sick that I'm probably just going to clear house. I know that seems a little heartless. I'll keep the named ones and get a whole lot of money from this transaction. The furs that I have, I don't really have enough of to warrant keeping. I don't need yayo. One thing I might want, however, is steel. We are pretty reliant on Bunny to get steel, and I don't really have a lot of steel, so I'm going to buy it. It's pretty expensive. It's marked up a lot, but we do, of course, have dusters to offset that cost. And I am also going to buy their gold. I'm going to need gold to make advanced components, and I'm also going to need gold to make the last reliquary that we will be able to install the last relic here pretty soon. So we go. Big trades. And that steel is going to go a long way to getting the transport pods up and running. I did have steel over here, but not quite a lot of it. So that's why moving things over seemed fine to me. Oh, and here, No Luck is making the fuel. I really only need enough fuel for one of these. But funny enough, No Luck immediately recharges her own jetpack. So it's going to be a minute. I don't... Oh, I know how Bunny got in there. It came in while the door was not yet installed. But yeah, definitely getting rid of that Bunny. And now we have a pod launcher with fuel and a Sven ready to go. Before I head out, I am going to work drive Trustin because he has so much tailoring to do. It is ridiculous. And Sven is going to... I'm actually going to bring a horse just so that I can quickly return home without sidecasting. I think it's probably worth it. So there we go. Launch. And we'll go with Josmo, Sven, 2 simple meals, and then I'll take the berries, and that's all we'll really need. I'll also take like 2 spare meds, but I probably won't end up needing it. So the last reliquary will be installed here. I think the berries got eaten or something. I'm going to launch and drop it edge. Off we go. Bunny is pretty busy cutting, or rather planting all the heal root. So I'm not going to be able to easily replenish the amount of wood that I'm currently turning into chem fuel. So I got to keep an eye on that. I'll just leave the berries there. That's fine. And Sven, you're just here to do hacking. I'm not going to, like I said, exploit any resources. I just want to make this fast. I don't need more fabric. And I don't have a shuttle either. So because I have no shuttle, I can only carry it home as much as I can load up on Sven and the horse, Josmo, which means I'm not going to be bringing home very much. Now, these facilities shouldn't be underestimated, and given that I'm alone here, it is potentially very dangerous, because if he gets knocked out, I lose. You know, he's gone. Permanently, forever, gone. So it is a high-stakes game, but given his skill, his psycasting, and all of that, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue to keep him alive. Wow. Josmo just got the animal flu. I think he just got over the plague. In fact, if we take a look at him, I bet he still has plague in his system, wherever he is. Yep, he still has the plague. In fact, he is almost over it, but now he has the flu. Poor horse. And what's crazy is, like, I'm in the cold bog. I mean, I do realize that flu is seasonal, but the way the game works... Oh, no, I guess technically this ancient complex is in the Boreal Forest, but the way the game works is, if you take a look, you can see the average disease frequency per year for the Boreal Forest is 1 per year, and the cold bog is 1.3 per year, and somehow my dear horse got 2 diseases in 1 year instead. Just because, you know, luck, I suppose. Or the lack thereof it. No luck would know something about that. Alright, there's 2. This room full of corpses who died. What's very interesting I find about this is they all died in different years. Dead for 155 years or dead for 183. So it's like people just kept dying in this room for some reason, but not all at once. All at once would make a lot more sense, but instead it was like one at a time and kind of randomly. Kind of love it. Okay, so there's an infestation there. Probably not going in there. Let's try to find the other consoles or anything worth keeping. There's another one. These bugs coming at me? Yeah, I think they are. Here, make them fight one another. Insects have woken up. Yeah, no kidding. Could have told you that. And this is why having a genius at psycasting is really helpful. Cuts down on all of the danger that he's in. I could use jetpacks to get away, or I could psycast to berserk them. And then I'm just standing back over the river that or pond or whatever that I teleported myself over to murder anything coming at me with minimal effort. So it looks like the rest of these bugs are going around the eastern edge. Copy that. I will meet them there. And what I'm going to try to do is to psycast the front runner and then shoot the more dangerous, take them out of the fight. Spreading the damage around so that they all are wounded, so that it's really easy to kite and fight them. As you can see, this makes it very, very easy. I'm not even going to use Psycast here, because I'd rather just keep my Psy focus. Oh, area revealed. So they're knocking into other sections of the facility. So we have instant soldiers here, and these are the last 2 consoles or terminals that I have to hack. Maybe I'll use my jetpack, just to put some space. That way I don't have to run back so much. Because I am getting tired, I am getting hungry. And I'm missing and shooting Ibex does instead. Punching their lungs out. So back here, the reliquary is, I don't know, about a third done or so. Okay, with that managed, I've got a Spellipede, and then these ancient soldiers are likely to pop out and fight me, so I'm going to want to break into the facility and shoot at their pods from a safe distance so that I can manage and handle them easily. We'll go to numbers and go to the enemy tab. I've got just a bunch of one mega spider and then a bunch of mega scarabs left. Not exactly a big threat to Sven. So I'm going to see if I can't just ignore the remaining spiders, because maybe they'll actually fight the ancient soldiers for me. That would be, I don't know, welcome. And I'm going to see if I can't just break into this terminal without even pissing off the soldiers. Our area is now safe, because these guys are, like, dormant or not hunting me. Nope. I'm going to have to fight them. Okay, so let's see. SMG, bolt action, chain shotgun. So I'm going to hit one of the chain shotguns. Four Eyes, who also has a low shield pack. This one's going to be a little annoying to kill because he's going to be hopped up on Go Juice. Unless I slay him really fast. Because, you know, when you're on Go Juice, you don't really feel pain like you normally would. With my armor, I'm not that worried about just standing here. Plus, he's pretty disabled, given the injuries that he has sustained from me. But look at you, getting a crack in. Now, if I didn't want for them to fight, I could just blind them or pulse them. Maybe I'll make them vomit. That's always fun. He's going for cover here, so I'm just going to switch sides. Pick up the gold and advanced components, because that's just fewer things that I have to manufacture myself. And tend myself casually as this one fights the bugs, and this one vomits all over the ground, bleeding to death. I'm just gonna go to hack. I don't really need to do anything here. Oh, bugs are here. Guess the ancients lost, bugs won, and I'll be over here. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, that bug's having second thoughts. That's what I thought, friend. And it's safe again. Some more gold. Wow, they tore your head off. That's rough. Some meals. Don't really care about. Checking on the home team. I have created a whole bunch of camp fuel, but as you can see, I really don't have a lot of wood left. So, Bunny is going to be not allowed to sew here. And I am going to chop wood around the stockpile there. Okay, it is done. The thug crew is coming in to make their presence known. I got a pod drop of smoke leaves. Interesting. I'm going to poke around just to see if there's anything left here worth doing. While that raid comes towards me. Maybe some plastile's not bad. I'm not worried about this raid. Oh, that is a fake door. Real fake door. Oh, look, I found mechanoids. These raiders are complete and utter idiots. I walked right past them, not even invisible. And time to head home. So, I've done this in the past where I screwed this up, but basically, if you exit with the green edge map tile, You have to wait for your caravan animals to join you, because if you start walking home immediately, they will not join you, and you will abandon them, which is not smart. So for Josmo, I have to just wait here until it deletes the map tile, and then I can just far skip home. Normally, I would walk home. That's the whole reason I brought Josmo, but the reason I'm far skipping is because Josmo is quite sick with the flu, and getting him home will keep him alive. I think he's my only male horse right now. Unless Chelsea or Shivaroo gives birth to a male. So I didn't want to chance losing my breeding animal. You know, if possible. And Sven is home, and he's going to have a lot of Psi-Focus prayer to do, or meditation. Also, his double strand pants are coming apart at the seams, so it would be pretty wise to get him to get him a new pair of pants. Sometime soon, I suspect. Taking a look at everybody else's clothing, Bunny's seems a bit better. Trustin's pants are also falling apart. Also, he has healing factors on him for some reason, the tech print. So that's interesting. No Luck isn't even wearing pants. So pants, oh, and then Zeleb's pants are almost shredded as well. So pants really high up on the priority, apparently. I did not know. So 5 pairs of pants made from the finest cloth, unfortunately, because I don't really have a better material. And Trustin will get that going on now that I have the reliquary. And I officially have 3/5 of the Relic of Harmony's location, and it should be offering me the last 2 quests here soon. So I think what I'll do is do until I have 5 only allowed ingredients, masterwork to legendary 95 plus, and that should get us plenty of spare clothing. And I'll probably make more pants than I need, but that's okay. Someone already swapped out. I think that was No Luck? No, Celeb. I don't know who took these off, but they were taken off. So No Luck has cloth pants replacement. So I guess I'll bring this down to 4. And I'll just count how many are actually been made. I suppose we don't need to haul them. It'd be even faster if we didn't, so I'm going to drop them on the floor. Excellent, excellent. Where's another? 2, and done. Okay. Easy as that. Trustin's now idle. So I'm gonna go make some dusters forever out of the cloth that I have. I don't even have room for this cloth out here, so we need to create a whole bunch of dusters to just free up space, honestly. Ooh, there we go. Female foal. And if Chelsea gives birth to a female as well. Oh, something I could do is wolf haulers. Not going to be allowed near the meals there, so that they eat corpses again. That should free up my cook from having to make food for so many. Now, another thing I hadn't done yet is strip the armor off these guys so that I can smelt it down for its plasteel. So I guess I'll go do that with Trustin. And then, because I'm really productive or really lazy, I'm not sure which, I'm going to not be able to bring a lot of it back with me. Never mind. Thought I was smart, but I was not. Load and haul. And just put it into his caravan, but because marine armor weighs so much, we can't move a whole lot of it at once. All right, so there we have the armor. So up here, I am going to smelt apparel forever that is tainted. No matter what it is, I'll taint smell. If it's tainted, I will smell. No Luck's been working on art for us. What I'm hoping to do is to replace the wooden art in here with stone, but unfortunately these sculptures are not that great, which is surprising. I've been honestly expecting better quality given, you know, the 18 art. Sven's still working on his psi focus. It seems to be going very slow for him. I feel like he's been praying a lot more than I would have expected. And I am up to about almost 200 chem fuel spare. There's still a lot more chem fuel needing to be made, so Bunny's going to be on here, hopping through the forest, chopping all the trees. We already have dusters galore, and I suspect those numbers will go up even more. Now, I had mentioned that I might want a slave quarter, a dedicated one, because Shay and Tobolo have a little wooden room that might not be enough. But I'll think on that, whether I think it needs to be built now or later at some time. Giving you guys a break to catch up on wealth creation. If we take a look at the wealth here, our graph ought to be going up a bit. Oh man, it hasn't yet. But I think that's because I bought a bunch of steel as a trade. Steel isn't worth very much, but it is kind of expensive to buy. If I wanted to store my chem fuel somewhere safe... Oh, that is going to be a bit of a bummer. And we have a mech cluster out to the southwest. It is blocking the sun, and I am somewhat reliant upon solar panels. It has a high mech shield, so it cannot be destroyed via orbital beam or anything like that. It does have a lot of unstable power cells, but I don't think I'm going to be able to recover that. I think the best approach for this is to turn off all the things that don't need to be on at the moment. Because I do have a lot of devices that are drawing power that don't need to draw power. And then wait for Sven to get his psi focus up. Because one of the things I could do is to go invisible and use Berserk against the 2 heavy charge blasters to do considerable damage to this here without having to risk our people. Or hit them with Insanity Lances, which might even be a better use for the Insanity Lance. So perhaps that will be my strategy, is just to, tomorrow morning when it's light out, have Bunny go invisible and hit them with Insanity Lances. It is why I buy them. So the pants that I've made, we haven't formally switched to, so there's a lot of those pants still here. Look how many pants it took for me to get just a few good pair. Kind of a lot. So I'm sort of curious with the smelter and the refinery. Oh, proud cassowaries. No, I'm not taking care of your cassowaries in the cold bog. That seems like it's not going to work. And these Westinians are leaving because it's too cold. Good riddance. Alright, Bunny, let's kick this off. Probably only really need Bunny down there. She could handle this herself. This is a one Bunny situation, if you will. So, the way to do this is probably to go invisible. Shoot at something, doesn't really matter what. And then Insanity Lance when they're in line of sight. So here's 1. And 2. Ideally destroy the... I'd like to blow these guys up to Kingdom Come. So I'm invisible for 5 more seconds. I can recast invisibility to stay here a little bit longer. But what I'd like to do is to blow up the High Mech Shield, to take it out so that I can do a lot more damage to it. Now these guys might be coming to the rest of my colony, which is not something that I necessarily want to have happen. Alright, invisibility. There. They got a few cheeky shots on me, the turrets did, but I'm fine. 1%. Now, they're coming up to me because they don't really have a line of sight on anyone else, so I will stand at the ready to guard the base, even though Bunny's going to take this out herself. And then the other thing I wanted to do here before I left was, and this should be pretty fun, call aid and an aerodrone salvo. And this should go boom. Pretty good. Oh, Bunny. Let's skip out of there so I don't get shot at. Alright, so a few little nicks and scratches, but really nothing all that serious. The rest of the crew is going to go wipe out the Scyther and then, of course, the pikemen that are coming for me. And then all that's left is these permanently berserked centipede, two of them that are going to murder everything there and then eventually get destroyed. I'm going to have Sven back up because of the psychic droner that's happening is really driving him insane. So Trustin can tend Bunny, and then No Luck and Zleb could come and wipe out the remaining of the facility. It was definitely unnecessary use of aerodrone salvo, but I had fun, so that's what counts. It might be possible to keep the 2 unstable power cells alive because they didn't get blown up from the aerodrome. So that would be good. Let's see if that is indeed possible. So I am dismantling this facility as the mechanoids just fire on one another to no avail with very little effect. I think shooting from this angle is probably going to be better so I don't accidentally clip the power cell. And one more volley and it's gone. Mech cluster has been defeated. Alright, I have to back up so that, yeah, the two remaining mechs fight one another and I get winner. Or alternatively, I shoot them. So this one versus this one. I think the southern one is winning so far. Let me, oh, yeah, no. It's gone. One way to shut them down so they don't do too much damage is to literally put one person within melee distance, because the centipedes aren't that effective at headbutting, whereas their guns are a lot more effective. So there they go. They're dead. Zleb, you can hold the plasteel, and then no luck. I will have you reinstall these unstable power cells somewhere. Maybe here. You know, next to these slaves, so that if anyone dies, it is them and not me. Or rather, prisoners. The way to do this safely, in air quotes, is just stick them behind doors so they cannot be easily destroyed. Okay. Easy as that. That way we can repair them, but if they blow up, they only take the outer wall of our base down. Nolik needs to get patched up. More injuries than I would have expected, but I didn't really try. I was kind of being reckless on purpose, I suppose. Sven is nearly at his psi-focus threshold, which means he can go back to research. Trustin is bringing in that last unstable power cell, and we can now get the production facilities back online, as we have plenty of power. $800 more watts for completely free. Not bad. Not bad at all. And Chelsea, you gave birth to a female as well. So I was right to make sure that Josmo got home safe and sound, I suppose. Everybody's healed up. Bunny is almost at her psi-focus max, and Sven already is. There are some weapons in here that I'd probably want to smelt. The machine pistols, the LMG, the bolts. Actually, you know what? All of them. So I'm going to open that up for maybe Trustin to do once he's done shredding some mechanoids. I'm not really sure where he went. And then there's, of course, a lot of tribal weapons that I don't much care for. And what I could do is stick all those tribal weapons, as well as any leathers that I have that I don't care about, into a transport pod and just send them to my neighbor. So, as to get a little bit of reputation from essentially nothing, because I was never really planning on keeping these, and I certainly don't care about the wealth that they may trigger. I'm also going to sell or gift the shredded pants, and then some of the non-masterworks as well, because I still need to build up my reputation with them in order to fulfill the Archonexus prerequisites. What I should have done is sent some of these lousy sculptures as well, but it's a little late for that. Kind of surprised how bad they are. Sven, let's get you back to research. For some reason or other... Oh, you know what? I think I completed what I had queued. I've been thinking that moisture pumps would be nice to have because I have some wooden walls in here and wooden floors in here that I can turn over to stone and steel if I had a moisture pump. I can even remove this entire pond if I wanted to, or all of the ponds, because none of it is deep water or running water, which doesn't dry up. No luck. You look idle. That is because I have used up all of the stone, the limestone specifically. So I am going to open up marble and slate to you next. And we almost have all the tribal weapons all loaded in, which allows me to shrink this zone back to something respectable again. Josimo's on his feet, so he's over the flu, which is good. And this pod is good to go. Gift to the Brio people, plus 81. Allied. I've risen past 75. So there we go. We have officially allied the fierce Brio people tribe, which is one of the requirements for the Archonexus. So the other one is that we have studied the grand sculpture, or the grand structure over here, which I haven't started yet, and have a colony wealth of at least 350,000, which we are puttering towards, I guess. I've been mostly just working towards projects for the colony and not really specifically for wealth, but I guess having no luck make a whole lot of R tier is working towards that goal, albeit slowly. Basically nothing left of that Met cluster. Meat is looking a little light. There are 3 elk to the east that I could hunt. Have Zaleb head out that way. We're almost ready to hit production command again, for them to have some sort of production synergy. That'd be really good to try to get through all of the cloth that I have. Zaleb, are you hunting? You are training Kadath. Seems pretty reasonable. And there we go. Crafting speed gone even further up. We go through this fabric amazingly fast. Would be even faster if he had architect arms, but he doesn't. Only got them organic or bionic ones. But still, pretty good. Okay, moisture pumps are now done. I don't think it would hurt to get autocannon and slug turrets. It's something that I haven't used yet in this series, but it could still be very useful. And then as far as moisture pumps go, if we take a look at the terrain affordance, I will put one in this spot here. and this spot. I will actually delete the flooring underneath so that, or the walls rather, so that it can spread. Now, another thing to mention about these is the moisture pumps. They are a very attractive target for raiders, especially scythers who like to bash them and destroy them. So what is important is that you wall them off so that they cannot be destroyed very easily. So I will get bridges around it. And then another thing is when the moisture pump is built for the first time, the tile directly underneath the moisture pump is instantaneously dried up. So if we take a look at the terrain affordance, right underneath this moisture pump, as you can see, is dry terrain. And it also doesn't hurt to get a door in here. The reason for the door is if the moisture pump has some sort of malfunction and needs to get repaired, it helps to be able to actually get in there. Provided you have the wood to afford the door. So there we go. This is going to be the third moisture pump. And then if we take a look at the wider facility, we do have a need for maybe a moisture pump around here. Now this one's a little weird because it's in the middle of the stockpile here. What we could do is limestone walls. If I have enough limestone, I don't even know if that's true. I do. Limestone walls and then like a limestone door. Another thing that you might not want to do is to have your moisture pump have a roof over it. It doesn't matter, but when you remove the moisture pump and it is roofed up, the roof will fall on your head and harm you if you forget to remove the roof. So I usually leave them unroofed because they are waterproof. I mean, they are moisture pumps after all. If they weren't waterproof, it'd be a bit of a problem. So let's get those moisture pumps constructed. Also, if you leave them a door, you can't build yourself into them, because that's something that my guys love to do. So there's one, and that will spread, and everything within the radius will then eventually, as time passes, become dried. We'll do that over here, and down here, and over here. Those are the main spots that I feel like the soft terrain is a problem. And I think I'm going to keep No Luck and Trustin' up just so that I can finish this off. Ooh. Information about the Relic of Hegemony, and it's a really easy one to get because it just requires someone to show up, hack a terminal in a little village, and we're done. They are by far, in my opinion, the easiest. So, of course, I accept. So another thing to note is because it immediately dries out right underneath the moisture pump the moment you install it, something else that you could do is to remove the bridge that's under them. Because the bridge can be caught fire and be destroyed, destroying the moisture pump, but if you remove the bridge, the moisture pump doesn't go anywhere. So it's kind of a better way to do it, in my opinion. Ooh, Thrumbo fur from the sky. My favorite kind. And the foreboding building. I don't think that I will be spending that many resources. So, no. But thank you. So because Bunny's up, I'm going to have her remove the floor underneath the pumps. As you can see, it doesn't destroy them, but it keeps them safe from being destroyed if the fires or whatever spreads underneath. And then Wolf Hauler Zone is going to change a little bit to not go into the pump rooms. Not that it really matters if they did, but they don't need to. And that, my friends, is all the time I have. Thank you for tuning in to episode 71 of the Archotechs Secured Alliance. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to discuss it with me in real time, Rhadamant.com has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons. Without you, this content would not be possible, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.